I'm going to take another look at Aster USDT. Yesterday I've made a video about it and I've pointed out some possible scenarios for as well as long or short scenarios. Well, if we take a look, this was my point of interest to continue our trend from because locally we had suspicious that market makers has been stepping in here. And if they were, they would continue this uptrend towards new highs. So I also said if we manage to hold this demand here, we can still move towards the upside. The scenario that we were watching for potential downside was this right here, but we never got confirmation of that downside with this local scenario. We kept our local uptrend and we're continuing from here. It's up until proven otherwise. So great scenarios pointed out in the last video. Let's go over what are expectations right now, what are the scenarios that we can make some possible plays on, and what is next for Aster. Let's check it out. Because we are in price discovery right now, I want to sketch in my target because maybe the target has been hit here. Well, we can clearly see these two have been perfectly hit right now, and our next target would be $2.5. And those psychological levels, you can just expect some resistance on these coins and maybe a little pullback, just as we did at the $2 here. So if we continue to draw in our market structure on the higher time frame, we have made a higher low for a new higher high that has been confirmed. So that would also mean for in order for us to keep our uptrend, we would have to hold 1.28. If we manage to hold this, we can still come down, make a higher low here, and continue for new higher highs. It's all looking bullish for now. So I already see some interesting zones because ask yourself this question, what caused price to break through this high here? It was expected, of course, because we kept our local uptrend, but what is the little part that caused us to actually break it? It's this right here. This is our last pullback into our demand before we started breaking that structure towards the upside. So that is a really important demand. This is where buyers stepped in to push the price higher. So if price managed to come back there, then maybe the people who have bought there want to protect their positions and push price up again. And it's pretty interesting what we have done right here because we have front ran a really strong demand, which indicates for me that this becomes a liquidity point. Of course, it's really strong that you do not need the demand for in order to keep moving up, but that doesn't mean we can get a scenario like this, creating a lot of liquidity on the lows, which we are doing, get that sweep of all that liquidity into our important demand, and then continue higher. I do want to sketch in that scenario because it's really relevant. This would be scenario number one to look for longs. Let's zoom in at this local picture. Higher low. This was the pullback before you started breaking new highs. So higher low, higher high. For in order to keep our uptrend, we would have to hold this. If we can manage to hold the $1.9, we can expect price to bounce from it and continue higher towards price discovery targets. Let's put our line at 2.5 because that's where our target is compared to this pullback here. So looking at $2.5 to take profit, expecting resistance there. If not, then we'll see what price action creates. So this is another scenario. If the market doesn't need the liquidity that we have created, we can just keep on trading higher. If the coin is that bullish, that will happen. But if not, the scenarios are in the chart that we are looking for. There's nothing for me to short here, so I would only be looking for upside here. We're in the expansion up, so we're going to keep on trading that expansion. This was the update on Aster DEX. If you want to stay updated on these kind of charts, these trading opportunities, then make sure to join the free Discord in the description and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you there. Ciao.